You know, I was not interested at all when Titan's Return was announced. I just never really liked the idea of headmasters. But Titan's Return had another major gimmick, Triple Changers. And I love Triple Changers, especially Decepticon Triple Changers. So, guess what I'm reviewing today? Come on, look at the title of the video. Look at the thumbnail. You knew what you were getting into. This lead-in was a waste of time. I'm sorry. Let's just go. Ooh, we really hit the ground running! First up, we have Voyager Astrotrain from Wave 2. We'll start out in train mode, where you can see that he doesn't really look like a train. Maybe a train wreck! Yeah, I'll be here all week. Obviously, the biggest eyesore here is this battle platform on top of the train, which is very obviously the shuttle mode wings that have absolutely nowhere to go. Although, I think the biggest problem for me is down here. All the train wheels are just kind of slapped on. They're just molded into these various flaps and panels. You'd get the same results if you drew wheels on a sticky note. There we go. But I must acknowledge how much detail is molded in here. He's covered with doors and ladders and railings and windows, all of which make him look really gnarly. But a lot of these details are washed out due to a lack of paint, which brings something else to my attention. There is not a single sticker on this guy, which is kind of weird considering how dependent the rest of the line got on them. You can mount his guns on either side of the train mode here, and you can also put his Titan Master in this little cockpit up here. This train mode is definitely the weakest of the three modes and is one of the weakest alt modes I've ever seen. Moving on. Okay. Here we have Space Shuttle mode, and boy is it almost equally as disappointing. It's a well-known fact that most Triple Changers have one alt mode that suffers. I mean, these things have to be a robot, a vehicle, and an entirely different vehicle. There are gonna be limitations. But Astrotrain suffers in both his alt modes, which is really sad. I think the Classics design did it okay, but a well-executed Astrotrain seems to be lightning in a bottle, unless you want to pay masterpiece prices. Shuttle mode is a great example of this. Like, I know what it's supposed to be, but I'm just not sold on it. The fuselage is too flat and wide to be a space shuttle, and the wings are supposed to be on the underside. I mean, come on. Once again, he is loaded with molded detail, but there's no paint to highlight any of it. You can mount his weapons on the underside of the wing, and the Titan Master can still hang out up top. He does have some fold-out landing gear here on the bottom, so there's something. On to robot mode. Robot mode absolutely saves this guy. This is Astrotrain, and he is looking gorgeous with this light gray that's almost white, popping purple and smooth black detailing. He also gets a dab of red in his midsection and then an iconic yellow strip on the helmet. You can even pull this lever to release these shoulder pylons that he sometimes had and sometimes didn't. What I'm saying is you got options. Articulation is pretty standard. You get a shoulder rotation and a swivel, an upper arm swivel, and an elbow bend up top. And then at the waist, you get a ratchet out to the side and forward, a slight knee bend, and a little bit of ankle posability. But you don't get anything at the waist due to his transformation, and his head posability is pretty weird due to the whole Titan Master thing. I just want to forget that he's a headmaster, but he keeps reminding me. Top him off with his G1 rifle and whatever this thing is, and you're ready to rock. Overall, he isn't terrible, but I definitely think he could have been much better. If you want him, get him, especially since he looks so good standing next to the other two. But do not sell your Classics version thinking this is an upgrade. Next! Next up, we have Voyager Octane... Wait, I mean... Octone? Nah, Voyager Octane from Wave 5. We'll start in truck mode, where you can see he actually looks like what he's supposed to be. Imagine that. He has some really nice details, like these rivets here and these nice fuel caps up top, which, by the way, hides the Titan Master. Which I suppose we should talk about. Every Titan's Return figure comes with its own Titan Master. Headmaster. They're headmasters! For the most part, they're kinda ridiculous. They aren't especially interesting to look at, and I could see them being super easy to lose. Plus, nearly every transformation requires you to remove the head, so you're just constantly tempting fate. I don't like headmasters. Anyway, there's some stickers running down the length of the vehicle mode, but a lot of mine are crooked. I want whoever applied that sticker to be fired. Stat. But seriously, these stickers are on panels that have to move for transformation, so they're gonna start wearing off, and as you can see, mine's already started doing that. Another minor complaint, the front of the truck sometimes has trouble staying together, and the windshield always has this gap. You can mount his weapons on the side of the truck here, but I think that looks pretty stupid. Other than those minor complaints, truck mode gets a big thumbs up. Let's see what else he's got. Okay. It isn't perfect, but this is a passable jet mode. The wheels almost totally hide away, and even though the truck cab is just kind of hanging out underneath the wings here, they kind of pass for turbines, which is also alluded to by the vents and thrusters that are molded in back here on the rear. There's nothing much left to say here. It's a decent jet mode, so let's get on to robot mode. Check this guy out. He's looking mighty fine with his white and purple getup. I like how the robot mode incorporates the wheels on his legs and his wings on his back. It's just so perfectly Triple Changer. I also really like the shiny Decepticon logos. They really make him stand out. Articulation is the same, fairly standard, same as Astrotrain. You get a shoulder rotation, a shoulder swivel, an upper elbow rotation, an elbow bend, and another nice touch is that these pylons can swivel and move out of the way so your arm articulation isn't hindered. At the waist, you get a forward and backward swivel with a swivel out to the side, upper knee rotation, a knee bend to pretty much perfectly 90 degrees. Once again, nothing at the waist due to transformation, and his head is about the same level of frustration. He comes with a G1 inspired rifle and a double-barreled Titan Master gun, both of which he holds really well. You can push this button on his chest, which spring up these ear pylons that are just left over from the Optimus version of this mold. They aren't G1 accurate, and they sit so far away from the head they don't even look good. You could just leave them down, except they spring up at the slightest touch of that button. So overall, Octane is a great figure. Miles better than the Universe one and Astrotrain. Moving on! Finally, we have Voyager Blitzwing, also from Wave 5, and spoiler alert, he's my favorite. Here we have tank mode, which looks really good. He's rocking this purple and tan getup. The turret can rotate all the way around, and the Titan Master even sits in the gunner's position. There's not a great place to store any of his weapons in this mode, but it's a tank. It already has weapons. Couple nitpicks here, as the jet mode thrusters don't hide at all. The cockpit tries to, but fails miserably. Time to jet! Whoa. That was amazing. The whole thing flips over, and then the wings rotate to be on the right side, and then the cockpit unfolds from seemingly nowhere, and then despite all that happening, the whole darn thing feels solid. The color palette has shifted to almost entirely purple. I mean, don't get me wrong, bits of tan still show through here and there, but it absolutely blows my mind how all the purple bits just ended up in the right place. I can't brag on this transformation enough. It is borderline masterpiece quality. Still no great place to put the weapons. I mean, you could try to cover up the exposed hands here, but his gun doesn't fit and the sword just looks stupid. If you open up the cockpit here, the Titan Master can actually pilot the jet mode, and his little head looks right out the front. Okay, I know I've hated on the whole Titan Master gimmick, but this right here is probably one of the best things I've ever seen. The only complaint I can find here is these darn stickers again. They're on these panels that move a lot, so they don't line up well, and they're already starting to peel off. Well dang, Blitzy, that's 2 for 2. Let's see how your robot mode do. I'm sorry. I realize this comes as no surprise, but the robot mode is absolutely baller. This is undoubtedly G1 Blitzwing. Look at this guy go! This robot mode is absolutely gorgeous. The purple and tan are perfectly balanced. And the white here in his legs and midsection clean him up a little bit. But that yellow helmet and red visor make his face pop. The only kinda messy part are the arms, which are made up of the tank treads folded in a few different ways. So they're not exactly solid, but they try their best. Articulation is right on par with the other two, minus the head, which is way more limited since these pylons are up. But these shoulders are super mobile due to transformation, and the wing will move out of the way if you want some more room. You also get the upper arm rotation and an elbow bend. And down here you've got the hip forward and back motion, side to side motion, upper thigh rotation, and a knee bend. Weapons are pretty great. He comes with his G1 axe thingy, and his Titan Master gun is passable, but I'm fairly certain that nobody uses these anyway. Overall, Blitzwing is an amazing figure, and I'm being 100% serious when I say this is the best triple changer I've ever owned. Animated Blitzwing was good in his own way, the Generations version was decent but had several glaring issues, but this one is pure, unadulterated G1 Blitzwing, and he rocks my socks. Whew, 3 figures with 3 modes apiece, that's 9 modes. Overall, these 3 figures are a must. Octane and Blitzwing are loads of fun. They're G1 accurate and they have great transformations. When I first got them, all I did was transform them back and forth continuously while humming the G1 theme song. Somehow, these 2 figures gave me nostalgia for a TV show that aired a decade before I was even born. And then we have Astrotrain. Like I said, he's not horrible, but he's not great either. I only got him so that he could stand next to Blitzwing and Octane and be in scale, and that's about all he's good for. I'm sure some people like him, but he just doesn't do it for me. So there we go. All 3 Decepticon Triple Changers. If you can only get one, it's got to be Blitzwing, hands down. But you will absolutely not be disappointed with the set of the 3. Thanks for watching.